Hello everybody, Crow here, and this is the Crow Show, and I've got a lot of stuff I want to go over, so we might as well get started with pickups. And now, before I show the next thing I got, well, the next thing, which is the first thing, I don't know why I said it like that, I made a, about, like, sometime last year, when I was doing Croooow Plays videos and I was doing all those pinball games, I wanted to do a game on the Astrocade called Bally Pin. However, when I went to go do that game, my Astrocade didn't work. I was getting some kind of weird glitches on the screen. Like I turn it on, I get a weird noise, and the screen was all like messed up. So I was like, okay, I'll put the Astrocade on the side and look at it later to see if I can figure out what was wrong with it. Well, several months later, which was maybe about a month, less than a month ago, I decided to open up the Astrocade, see if I could figure out what was wrong with it, plugged it in, and I mentioned this on Twitter, so if you follow me on Twitter, you already know what happened. I turned it on, and I left it on for a while, and something inside started smoking. So I was like, okay, this is not good. And then I took apart the board. I really couldn't find what the problem was. So what I wound up doing is, and this is the Astrocade that has the problem. So this is the one that is smoking and everything. So I went on eBay actually, and I bought this, which is another Astrocade, and I got it cheap, maybe around $50 or so, because in the description this one doesn't work either, and it's true. Well, what they said was it turned on, but nothing showed up on the screen. And I'm thinking, well, how do they know if it turns on or not if nothing's showing up on the screen? Because there's no power light or anything on this thing. And it's just, there's different models, got wood grain and everything, which I think looks cooler, actually. So yeah, I plugged it in, turned it on. Yeah, sure enough, what happens is the screen just turns blank. No sound or anything. Nothing like the original, the original one I had, where it was smoking or anything. But I haven't really taken it apart to see if I can figure out what the problem is. My thinking was, if I buy another broken Astrocade for cheaper on eBay, there may be something I could do where maybe I could get this one to work, or maybe I could use parts from the other one and somehow hobble together a working Astrocade. This Astrocade actually came with 5 games as well, but I actually have them all already. Came with 2011 Galactic Invasion. Came with, actually, the same game again, just a different label, sort of. 2011 Galactic Invasion. Came with 2009 Astro Battle, and I think the numbers in front of there are just the carton numbers. This one actually doesn't have a label, but I know it's Zap and Dodge 'em. I don't know if the camera can even pick that. Yeah, the camera could kind of pick that up. You can kind of see. And then you have Blackjack, Poker, and AC Deucey. But I already had all these cartridges. So if I get the time, sometime I'll see if I get the time. I have the time. I'm just spending it doing other things. Like the pinball machine. Like last week I had mentioned that I got all the rubber rings for the Briarwood Rodeo, but I didn't get the coil I needed. Well, I did get the coil I needed, and I put that in the machine. But that actually was not the problem. So sometime I have to take apart the whole bumper assembly and clean that all up to find out what exactly is the problem with that. Because it's weird if I taking it apart and looking at it. When some of the contacts are making contact, they're making a really weird noise, and they're tripping. If I hold them there too long, it trips the fuse in the what is it, the power thingy, bobber thing, or whatever. Yeah, most technical term I could think of at the moment for that. So next thing is actually I got a package in the mail, and this package is from Ben G76 Show. And I haven't opened this yet. I got this yesterday, but I waited till I made this video to open this. Now, Intellivision Dude had put up a video of a package he got in the mail, and it's a game, and he put gameplay video, And in the comment, I put, oh man, I wish I would have known. And this is a pretty hard game to find, too. Because when I went searching to see where I could buy it, I couldn't find anything. And it was made in limited quantities. So I made a comment saying, "Oh, I wish I'd known that about this game's existence. I would have ordered myself a copy." And the television dude said, "Well, why don't you look at Ben G76 Show's comment?" And he made a comment that said, "You know, he had the game, but he was thinking about selling it." So I contacted him and said, "You know, if you're thinking about selling it, let me know, and I can maybe do a trade or just buy it flat off of you." And he said, "Well, yeah, I mean, because he was planning on putting it on eBay the next day, apparently." So we worked out a deal. I sent him some monies for this, and he sent it. And let's open this up. I know what the game is. I don't know. I think it's the same version of the game in television, dude. I'm looking for the knife that I have right here. Let's open that knife up. And see if I can cut myself horribly. Alright. Got some tape. There we go. Alright, nicely packed. Bubble wrap. And this is an Atari 2600 game. Cool. It is Army of Darkness. Now, this kind of looks like a VHS cassette tape, but it is not. Look at the, it doesn't even say what it is. It's just Army of Darkness. It's Army of Darkness on the side. On the back, it says, "My name is Ash. Close as I can figure, it is the year 1300 AD. It wasn't always looking like this. I had real life once. The book awoke something dark in the woods. It took Linda. Then it came for me. It got into my hands and it went bad, so I lopped it off at the wrist, but it didn't stop there. It came back big time." That's from the opening scenes from Army of Darkness. Army of Darkness is my favorite movie, which is why I was interested in getting this game. Let's open this up. Nice. So inside we have wrapped up the cartridge itself. If you haven't guessed yet, this is a homebrew game. There really was no Army of Darkness game on the Atari 2600 back in the day. So look at that. We have the cartridge awesome label right there. It says on the end label, "Evil Dead, Army of Darkness." There we go. Look at that. It's awesome. Now, this is exactly the same stuff in television. I'm going to put a link to Television Dude's video, too, because this is exactly the same stuff that... See, look at this. Limited edition Army of Darkness, 1 of 20. Now, apparently there were only 20 of these made. But I know there were different versions of this made, like the packaging. So I don't know exactly if there were 20 total or 20 of each package or what. But even if that's the case, that's only 60 copies, and that's still very, very few. So that's awesome. On the back here of this card, it says "Shop Smart, Shop S-Mart." And then we have this manual, which is full color manual, which is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Just look at that. That's full color. Nice. Oh, man. Look at that. The controls and gameplay. If only games today came like this, you know? Full color manual, or a manual at all. Vita. And I know people are saying, "Hey, the manual's on the cartridge." Hey, it's not the same thing as having this. But that's pretty damn awesome. Whew, let's put this back together. So I have to keep this in there. But I will probably definitely be doing a Croooow Plays video on this. But it's not going to be for quite some time. And I'll explain later, because in my notes, it's not the next thing I have. But that is awesome. Much, 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 much thanks to Ben G76 Show. Put a link to his channel in the description. This is just amazingly awesome. The game doesn't look that great, but this is awesome. I don't care what anybody else says. Let's see what I got next. Oh, what I've been playing. I've actually only been playing the Vita. I haven't played anything else. And actually, in the past week, I've only been playing 2 games on the Vita, and that was Wipeout 2048 and Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. Now, I've been mostly playing Hot Shots Golf. In fact, the last couple of days, that's all I've been playing. There's a mode in the game called the Daily International Tournament. And every day, you could go online, and enter these tournaments, which is like there's three of them a day, 3 challenges a day, 2 9-hole courses and 18-hole course usually. That's the way it's been breaking out. Sometimes they have special rules, sometimes they don't. But one of the reasons, and that's one of the reasons I keep coming back to this game every day. And one thing I wanted to show, the other reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm pretty damn proud of my score that I've gotten so far in here. Now, if we zoom in, like I on the corner up there, you can see my current ranking. I'm 103rd out of 9,449 people. I'm in the top 2% worldwide, so I'm pretty happy about this. But then again, I've been playing Hot Shots Golf for a long time, and a lot of this stuff comes second nature to me. So I'm like, whenever, making beating par is not enough for me. I want to get like at least a birdie on every hole. Even though I can't do that sometimes. Sometimes I just totally screw up, and like a couple times I've gotten stuck in between 2 trees. Well, not a couple times. One time in particular, I remember I got stuck in between 2 trees. The ball just rolled in between there, and it only let me. If I hit it forward, I hit the tree. If I hit it backwards, I hit a tree, and it wouldn't let me turn 90 degrees because there was a tree in the way, and my character couldn't. It was called unplayable. But it wouldn't let me call the ball unplayable since there were other ways I could set the character. So that was just like freak happenstance. And that happens sometimes in these games. One of the things I really like about this is if it goes in the water, it's not an automatic hazard. You don't automatically have to reposition the ball, because if the water's shallow enough, it'll let you hit the ball out of the water. That's just awesome right there. Moving on. Next videos I have coming up on this channel. I have been filming and editing. I'm still in the middle of editing several videos, Croooow Plays. Doing a 13-part Croooow Plays on one game in particular. That game is Pinball Hall of Fame, the Williams Collection. I thought that the best way to do that game would be to make a video for each individual table. So the series, the next 13, well, actually it's 12 videos, I'm doing the Williams Challenge. And then I had to add on an extra video at the end of that because there was one table that wasn't included as part of that challenge. And I've actually done things a little bit differently with the video. I've upgraded some special effects in there, and it looks really good. I'm really happy with the way those videos are turning out. So starting tomorrow, and I'm probably going to do it like one of these every day, just because if I do it like I've been doing 3 a week, it's going to take like over a month to do. Really, so I got to really step it up with these. But that may not be the how I do things in the future. It's not going to be like a video every day always. It's just going to be for this series of Croooow Plays, Monday through Friday, and I'll post a video of the not Hot Shots Golf. I'm still thinking about that. But the Pinball Hall of Fame, and that'll go on for 3 weeks then. Now, next topic. My nose is kind of a little bit runny. That's why I'm making some weird-ass noises. I'm just making sure I'm recording, because I had an issue with that in one of the videos that I made. And I haven't posted yet. It'll be the second one after this one. Videos to check out now. J-Boy Pac-Man has made a video, and that's a tag video, but it's not labeled as a tag video, which is one of the reasons I'm pointing this out. That video is his titled Video Blog for March 2nd, 2012. Now, he made a tag in that video partially because of me, because to him it looks like I was really super excited about the Vita coming out and everything, and I guess that is true, because for weeks before I actually got it, I weird stuff going on for weeks before I actually got it. I couldn't stop talking about it. Almost every video was Vita this, Vita that, and look at it. I was still talking about the Vita. So his tag is something like, was there a system? I can't remember if it was a game or a system or something video game related that you are really, really excited about coming out. What was the last time that has happened to you? So if you wanted to do a response to that, I'm going to put a link to that video in this channel, of course in this channel, in this description. And actually before the Vita, I think the very last thing I was really, really excited for may have been the Wii, but I don't know about that. It was like, the Wii was coming out, and I didn't know if I wanted to pick it up or not. And it was actually the day it was coming out that I decided I was going to wait in line in hours before stores opened before I went in there and picked it up. But the time before that was the PlayStation 2, and I had that reserved for months and months and months in advance. And I was able to pick one up day one, and I was really excited about that. Now there's another video that I thought was really good tag video, and I'm just going to do it here really quick. And that was Lawn Boys Post 1975, and it's like the 10 first gaming experiences tag. And I have the questions here, and I'm just going to go through them really quick. But if you want to do a response to this, I'll put a link to his video in the description below. You can make a response to that. First game I played, that was Combat on the Atari 2600. First game I ever bought. And now that's kind of, I really don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure it was Captain Skyhawk on the NES. First game I ever traded. Now, I absolutely cannot remember that at all, so I'm not even going to answer that. The first system I ever owned, that would be the Super Nintendo. Now, we had systems before that, but really I'm considering that to be like, the family system. Like, we had an Atari 8-bit computer, we had an Atari 2600, and all that. But really that wasn't really just specifically mine, that was for the family. But when I entered the military, I bought an NES off a Super NES off of somebody. So I'll say that was the first system I actually owned myself. First gaming peripheral I ever bought, again, I don't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure it was the NES Satellite. If you remember, that was the thing that used infrared. You plugged it in the controller ports of the NES, and you could plug 4 controllers into it. Didn't work that great, but whatever. That was the first thing I ever bought. First gaming magazine I ever read. Now, Compute Gazette was the actual first one I ever read, and that's like the Commodore 64 magazine. But I read it because I think it was my uncle was the one that actually bought it. And whenever I'd visit him, I'd, read that magazine. Or maybe borrow some magazines off of him. But the first ones I ever actually bought and read from like a magazine store, stand, or a store or anything, that was Video Games and Computer Entertainment. That was my first favorite video game magazine. And I bought it every month until they made changes and changed the format and everything. And renamed that to just Video Games. First system I ever bought myself. Well, like I said, I bought it Super NES used, but brand new. Like going to the store and buying one brand new was the Sony PlayStation, the PS1. That was the first one I ever bought. First handheld system, I guess that's the first handheld system I ever had. That was the Game Boy. First dedicated CD-based system I ever played. Now, although I knew about the TurboGrafx CD and the Sega CD, I never actually played one of those before I played the original PlayStation. So, PS1 is the first CD-based system I ever played. And finally, first system I ever sold and rebought. I'm going to say that was the Super NES. Although I don't quite remember selling the Super NES the first time. That was really the first system I really remember rebuying to play games again. So yes, those were that was Lawn Boys Post 1975 tag. Next thing I want to bring up are promo videos. Steve Benway's Friday Talking. He's been putting the promo videos at the end of those videos. So right now I only know of 4 promo videos for video game channels at least. First one is Steve Benway's promo video. Then there's my promo video. And then the last two I found out about were the EPROM 9 and the Mez. Now, since there's 4 promo videos I know about, I made a playlist that's accessible on my channel's main page, and I put a link to that playlist in this video of all those channel promos for video games. So if you do a promo for your channel, let Steve Benway know, and if he puts it in his video, then I'll know about it too. But if you let me know too, I could put it in that playlist, and I think that would be pretty cool to have a playlist full of video game channel promos. I really like them. I'm digging the promos. I just like it. They're like little commercials for these channels, and I just like them. But yeah, there was another topic that came up, and I can't remember who was discussing about this or who started it. I really can't. I think it was on Steve Benway's channel on his Friday Talkie, where it gave me the idea to discuss this a little bit, and that is like, what is the best way to find new channels on YouTube? Because this is kind of related to the promo videos. I mean, they can make a promo video saying what they do and tell Steve, and Steve can put it at his channel, and people will find out about it that way. Or I'm thinking, like, if they put it in my playlist, if people that are interested in promos will want to be linked to that playlist and be able to go through that playlist and say, hey, look at this channel, I never knew about this channel, and go that way. But there are other ways to find channels you didn't know about, and these aren't necessarily new channels. These are really just channels you didn't know about. If you look on your feed on YouTube, you can see what other people are commenting on or making videos for. And that's actually a pretty good way to find channels you didn't know about. They're liking this video, they're favoriting that video, and you're like, hey, they really like this video, maybe I'll like it too. You go there, you check it out. Or, people doing tags or video responses. If you're subbed to somebody and you see they do a tag to somebody else, or they do a video response to somebody else, you might want to check out that other person as well. Or conversely, even if they make a tag video and you're interested in a tag video, you might want to come back to that video and see who made video responses to that video. And that way you could go through and see, hey, this person made a tag response to this video. I never knew about this person. Let me check out their video. But another way to actually, and this is actually the way I find out most channels I didn't know about, is through Twitter. Because a lot of people on YouTube who have Twitter accounts have YouTube typed in with Twitter. So whenever they favorite or like a video that shows up in Twitter, and I look at my Twitter and I say, hey, you know what, look at this, he liked this video, they favorited this video, and that video sounds pretty interesting by the title, let me check out that video. And I've been subscribing to some channels that way. So yeah, there's just some just some ways I find some new channels, because I know that's kind of a topic that's going around now. And you know what, I think I've reached nearly the end of this video. So we're going to end this off with shout out. And like I've been doing in the past couple videos, this shout out is going to be the next person after Retro Gamer VX that had the giraffe clock, and that is Mark Vahir. I believe that's the way you pronounce it, Mark Vahir. I used to say Mark Vajir because it's MERGEER. So I look at that and I say Mark Vajir, and then I occasionally hear somebody say, no, that's not right. So I hear Mark Vahir. I think it's Mark Vahir. Over here, Mark Vahir. I don't know. I'm just going crazy at the moment. But Mark Vahir, awesome channel. It's from the Netherlands. Does gameplays, pickups, packages, and just various videos, and they're all they're very entertaining, and it's one of those channels where you can see over time. I've been subscribed to him for quite some time, but you can see the improvements he's making in his channel over time. New graphics, background music, awesome background music. It's usually chiptune music, or like Commodore 64 remixes or something like that, and that's stuff I enjoy in the background. And he has a tendency to make like really, really long videos too. Like I saw his response to Lone Boy Points 1975 top first 10 first gaming experiences. That video was, I think, maybe around half an hour long. So I watched it all though. Yeah, probably while I was playing Hot Shots Golf. So, so yes, he had the giraffe clock. So there's a lot of giraffe clock videos on his end. In fact, more than almost anybody else, I think. Yeah, giraffe clock wreaked havoc on him, I think. So yes, shout out to Mark Vajir. Check out, I said it again, Mark Vajir. Check out his channel. And, you know, I probably had a lot more stuff I could have wrote down and talked about, but this video could have gone on forever, so I'm going to have to save some of that for another time or forget it altogether. So, thanks everyone for watching, and see you all next time. Bye.
Tell the pilot to circle the field once more.
The movie's not quite over.